So I will go ahead and get this set up for you.
Alrighty, thank you. And the movie that I saw today, Isle of Dogs. When, by executive decree, all the canine pets of Megasaki City are exiled to a vast garbage dump called Trash Island, 12-year-old Atari sets off alone in a miniature junior turboprop and flies across the river in search of his bodyguard dog, Spots. There, with the assistance of a pack of newly found mongrel friends, he begins an epic journey that will decide the fate and future of the entire prefecture.
Okay, so Isle of Dogs. You said, like you said, you just saw this one before you came here today.
Yes, I did.
Are you a Wes Anderson fan? Do you like Wes Anderson movies?
I think this might be my first one.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. I was gonna. You just went ahead and jumped head first right into that one.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy Wes Anderson movies. I think that they have his style of comedy is so unique and funny.
I've heard of his movie like the Royal Tenenbaums, the Grand Marigold Hotel, the
Darjeeling Limited.
The Darjeeling Limited. Wasn't I Heart Huckabees one of his too?
No. I Heart Huckabees was David something else. David Russell. Russell.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
yeah, I've heard of his movies. I've just never watched any of them. But actually, something about Isle of Dogs made me go, I want to see this, and maybe because of the fact that I really enjoy stop motion animation a lot.
Yeah.
So to see a stop motion movie come out like this, and it was really done very well, it made me want to rush out and see it. And so I did, and I was not disappointed.
Oh yeah,
I was not disappointed at all. It was very well done. The way he also used the one thing you don't see in the trailers is the way he uses traditional animation.
Really? Oh yeah. Because he does mix in some traditional animation. And this one, he didn't do this in Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is my favorite stop motion movie.
I have to check that one. I'll have to check that one out now because I really enjoyed this one. Because the way he would use traditional animation in this one, where like say like there's an event going on in the room, and you're watching the event go down on the TV. Well, instead of like showing like a camera angle, it's traditionally animated on the TV.
Oh,
but so like if like right now, we would be the stop motion figures, and the TV over here would be like a drawing.
Oh, really?
Of the event going on, as shown through the camera, and it was a really cool effect.
That's pretty awesome. So the what I got from the trailer for this movie, it felt like kind of like a mix of stop motion with some of the style of an anime. Is that at all an accurate?
No, there was no anime stylings to this one. It was
I'm talking about the anime, the way like the storytelling and the acting and of some of the characters. Did it feel it felt sort of anime, but
it felt more. Even though it was stop motion, it still felt like a movie.
Right.
It didn't have like the dramatic angles or sharp, and it was all done very well. It was done very well, but it wasn't done anime style.
Okay.
And one thing you don't know going into that is actually told in like 4 parts in a prologue.
Okay.
Like the way they break it down, like it has a prologue, and it tells you the prologue sets up the events of why the dog band comes into play. It all goes back to feudal Japan.
Mm.
And how about this boy? It's called The Boy Samurai, and it's the prologue to the movie about how he killed the head samurai of the Kobayashi clan in order to save the dogs, because the Kobayashi clan favored cats over dogs. So then he killed the Kobayashi clan, and the dogs lived in harmony with the humans and whatnot. But then, present day, sometime in the future, the head of the new head of the Kobayashi clan becomes mayor, and he takes revenge for his family by banning all the dogs.
Wow.
Because of something called snout flu.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was. But what you find out as you watch the movie, it takes a couple of twists and turns you're not expecting, and it tells the story very well. And one thing I also will give the movie credit for, it has no problem making you feel like an outsider.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like what I mean by that is when you like watch the movie, they tell you up front that the characters, that all the Japanese characters are going to speak their any character that's in the movie is going to speak their native tongue.
Oh, so
without
no subtitles.
And the only time it'll be translated as if there's official translators and whatnot in the room in the scene. So like if you're like at a press conference, there's a translator there, so whatever he says is translated. Mm-hmm. But if it's like going on in a house or an apartment or in a meeting room somewhere and there's no translator present, they're just speaking Japanese to each other, and you just have to gather what's going on between the conversation and the cues and the body language. And I thought that was cool. It didn't exactly give you the dialogue you want, but at the same time,
so do you miss any story elements that way?
Oh no, you don't miss any story elements at all, because the way it's done, like the way they animate the figures, it comes across through the animation.
Okay.
As even though you can't understand what they're saying. and the little effects they do using stop motion was clever. Like they had a scene where the scientist was pouring chemicals together to get in there. You know how sometimes in movies, if you pour chemicals, you get like a smoke reaction?
Yeah.
Well, in this movie, it was like cotton coming out of the tube.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was a cool little touch, that everything was still a physical thing and not just not just an effect they edited in post. They still had to animate the effect. Like the explosions were cloth, like bundles of black cotton.
Right.
And it was really cool how everything had a tactical feel, even if it was just supposed to have been fire and smoke.
So was this would you call this a comedy?
Oh, it's a comedy, but it's somewhat of a dark comedy.
Okay.
And it has a twist you don't see coming.
Cool.
Based on one of the dog characters, which is what they do cool with the dog. All the dogs is they speak English.
Right.
Because the way they said at the beginning of the movie, we just translate all the barks to English. So whenever they're speaking English, they're just barking to each other.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but they don't. So it's not just hearing barking all movie long, and it's very well done. The voice acting was good. Jeff Goldblum, he played Duke, and he was a gossip of the group. He would always say, "Hey, I heard a rumor," and everybody would be like, "Well, what you hear?" And then he would just tell them, like he would advance the story a little bit based on what he heard, and it's pretty well done how they did it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. How about the soundtrack for this one?
Oh, it was not necessarily like the score was pretty cool because it had a lot of Japanese taiko drums in the background and whatnot. It was very well done with that in that regard. Japanese taiko drums and flutes and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so for this being your first venture into Wes Anderson, you said you're going to probably, and the next one you're going to check out will probably be Fantastic Mr. Fox then?
Yes. Yeah, because the stop motion style was just so well done here. I enjoyed it. The dogs, the dogs were very well done. They even though they were stop motion, they actually had emotions in their eyes and whatnot. There were funny stories that the dogs told. There were sad stories. It was very.
Yeah, that's usually a thing that in his movies, like it's just a mix of different emotions that you can feel. You can feel sad. You can feel, suspenseful sometimes, and usually the suspense is played off in a comedic way sometimes. But I think one of my favorite ones of his is Moonlight Kingdom, so you definitely check that one out too.
Yeah, and Bryan Cranston's always good no matter what he does.
Yeah, he was the lead dog in this one.
Yeah, he was the Felix, I think his name. Felix, I think his name was. It was very well done with his character, because you don't see what's coming with his character.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like something sad neither. It's like, oh wow, it's like a twist you don't see coming. You don't expect it.
Okay, so since this is dealing with these dogs, and are people going to cry watching this movie? Can you without spoiling it? Can you say people might cry watching this movie?
Maybe at one point when you think something happened when it didn't, but I can't say what.
Right, don't spoil that.
Yeah, okay. But it may be at one point, maybe at one, maybe 2 points. One may be a sad cry, one may be a happy cry.
Okay.
So twice.
So the Coco.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Coco effect.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to actually score this thing. You haven't scored it yet.
Yeah, I will give it a 9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10. All right.
Why I'm only giving it a 9.5? I'm trying to think of anything why I'm taking I feel there was one character that was no, but then they served a point later in the story too.
Ain't not all movies are perfect. You don't have to have so many faults in it just to not give it a 10.
Yeah, but I can't think of one. But 9.5 it'll stay.
That sounds fair. That sounds like a fair one.
I enjoyed it a lot, and hey, one day I might go see it again.
Dope. Oh yeah, maybe that's where you can is have rewatchability.
Yeah, I want to watch it again just because to watch the technical marvel in it. It was kind of cool the way they stop motion everything. It was actually funny, and there was a dude behind me who was dying laughing the whole time this movie was on.
Really?
Yeah, he would find the simplest scene, be bust out laughing, and it make you chuckle just the sound of his laughter. So thank you, guy in the back.